The way that most people will try to escape from a choke is wrong, and it could have disastrous consequences. In this video, we're going to give you some simple ways to stop someone from choking you, which could save your life, and they're effective even if you're not big and strong. We're going to look at different kinds of chokes in this video, and different kinds of chokes have different risks and different consequences. So we're going to be looking at the double choke here, the double-handed choke whilst pushing, the single-handed choke where there are two problems, the choke and the fist, and the choke against a wall or a tree or some kind of solid structure.
So if Ryan grabs my t-shirt, this is a problem, but it's not a priority, okay? If Ryan grabs my arm, this is a problem, but it's not a priority. If he grabs my hair, could be a priority or not, but it's not gonna kill me. It's gonna hurt me, but it's not gonna kill me, okay? If he grabs my neck, this is a total priority, because it's not only damaging physically my throat, which is a long-term life-changing problem, it's cutting my oxygen to the brain, but more important than that, the blood to the brain. 2-3 seconds without blood, the brain shuts down and you go to the floor. So in here we need to try to do something very difficult, which is to rewrite our instinct, to go our instinct. When he choked me, instead of, oh, what are you doing, leave me alone, I need to do something else, something better, and multiple things in combination that we're going to explain.
So first of all, we're going to look at this double-handed choke, okay? So both of my hands wrapped around Raul's neck, squeezing as hard as I can. Could I kill him from this position without pushing him into something? Probably not, but could I do him some serious damage, crush his windpipe? Yeah, absolutely, with a big squeeze, and very quickly as well. So his total priority is getting my hands off his neck as quickly as possible, and he's going to do that by, first of all, raising his hands, which should be up anyway, really, if we're thinking about being in this self-defense position. They should be up anyway. What he's going to do is he's going to not grab hold of my hands and frantically try and get me off, right? Because it's not going to work. He needs to strike down at the weak point where my wrist meets my hand, right? So here, he needs to strike down in order to break the grip. But under this unbelievable pressure, that might not be enough. So he needs to do something else at the same time. So he's going to do two things at once. He's going to break the grip, striking down with his hands, and oh! So the next one is the double choke while I'm driving my way into him. So the problem with this one isn't necessarily that we're moving. The problem is what happens if we keep moving, right? It's only going to be a matter of time until he goes down, trips over a curb, and then it's at the point where I'm on top of him, and now this is a serious problem. So Raul has got a few priorities now. He needs to not only break the choke, but he needs to stop the momentum of us moving backwards, because it only takes 2 or 3 steps and we're going to trip over the curb, and then he's going to be in a world of trouble. So he needs to get some stability and deal with the choke. So as I'm driving him backwards, he needs to basically plant his weight back 90 degrees, right? That's going to give him some stability to deal with the choke. It's now a lot harder for us to move backwards. At the same time, he needs to break my grip. So doing what we've been doing in the other chokes, attacking that weak spot there. With his other hand, right, this is going to give him extra momentum to break the grip. He's raising it up as if he's pointing it to the ceiling, right? And then he's going to rotate and crash down, Jesus, and then crash down into my arms, right? It doesn't matter how strong you are. If you perform that technique properly, show it again. If you perform that technique properly, up and down, it's going to break the grip, right? From here, he can fight back. Elbow strikes, hammer strikes, and he's away. Next one we're going to look at is the single-handed choke. So this is one of my hands wrapped around Raul's neck, could crush his windpipe, while my other hand is free to punch him in the face while I'm doing that. Number one priority is the choke, getting rid of that choke, but also there's a second priority. It only takes one really good shot to knock someone out unconscious, and then he's not going to be able to defend himself at all, right? So he needs to trap the choke, do something about that using his hand, striking in the same place that we just talked about in the previous one, and he needs to bring his other hand up to cover. So if I throw a shot, he's covering it, or he can even strike me in the eyes, in the throat, whatever. And at the same time, strike the groin. So the most dangerous one of all is this double choke against something, against a hard structure like a tree or a car or a wall. This could actually kill him because all of my weight is driving into his throat, and that force has got nowhere to go, because there's a tree behind him. So it's going straight into his neck, and in a couple of seconds, he's going to be out of it. So again, total priority, Raul needs to break my grip around his throat. He's going to do that by targeting the weak spot between where my wrist meets my hands and striking down. But is that going to be enough with all of my force compressed against him? Probably not, right? So he also needs to make me flinch at the same time. So not only is he going to target my hands, he's going to make me flinch by hitting me in the nuts. If he's in an uncomfortable position to be able to knee me in the groin, the other option he has is to just do the minimum to survive the choke, right? So just taking away one of my hands. If he does that, yeah, I've still got a hand around his neck, but it's not enough to kill him, and he's going to make me flinch at the same time. So he's going to strike one of my hands while slapping me in the groin.